All right, so this is what's in my fight bag as a professional fighter. I know gi jiu-jitsu gets a lot of mixed reviews from fighters. I think training the gi is really beneficial. What I don't like is grabbing the gi. And guess what? I don't have to grab the gi when I'm training the gi. But the guys that do want to be good at gi jiu-jitsu and grab it, or for self-defense or whatever reason, they can grab my gi. That just gives me more problems to solve. My biggest thing is becoming a creative problem solver as a martial artist. That's what I think makes people really good at fighting. And if I have to deal with more problems from any given situation, like somebody grabbing my clothes, and I have less answers, like I can't grab their clothes back, that helps me get better at martial arts in a shorter period of time. So I even use things like pool noodles, and I'll chop it up and I'll have to keep it in my hands, and if I drop it, I lost, right? It's another way for them to win. So it makes it so that not only can I not grab their gi as a rule, but I can't do it physically because I'm gonna have to drop when I'm holding in my hands. So it makes me have more issues to deal with and creatively solve that problem. So I love training the gi. I also have my no-gi stuff, my shorts, because we have to be for when it's more slippery, right? Some things are harder to do, and I always try to make things harder. So I always have my no-gi stuff with me. Shin guards. I have my knee braces and shoulder braces from Anaconda. These things are great, and me being older, I have to make sure that I have this stuff on me, or else I might miss a day of training, and I can't afford to do that. You know, I'm almost 40, I'm about to be 40 in a couple weeks. So missing a day of training is not on the menu. These help me make sure I never have to do that. And then as far as gloves go, I get picky, because I hate gloves, so I want to make sure if I am wearing gloves, I'm getting the maximum benefit without any of the drawbacks, or the minimum amount of drawbacks, I should say. So the fact that I have to fight in gloves sometimes, I want to have the ones that feel like I'm wearing nothing. I love the design the UFC came up with on their new ones and they got rid of. These things are great. I know why everyone hated them, because you can feel your punches through it, right? I hate the thumb on MMA gloves. If it's on there, I cut that damn thing off. So the fact that they made them like this, and it's got that thinner padding, this is the closest thing that I could find on my bare hands. This new style of UFC glove. They're not cheap, but to me they were worth it. And then for boxing gloves, like 16-ounce gloves, I want to make sure I have some good hard sparring gloves, and I think Onyx made a great design. I got a few different pairs of these. I use Onyx. They've had a couple designs, but I also like Winning, and there's a few other boxing gloves that I do like to use. I just want to make sure that I'm getting decent wrist support for when I'm throwing harder, and I want to try to get the minimum size. Shadow is another one. Shadow Fight Gear, they made a thinner profile glove, which I love, and I'm not the only one that love them apparently, because it's the only item I've ever had that got taken out of my gym bag. That's how good they are. So I had to be careful with them. They're expensive. It was my fault. I left them laying around too long, but I'm definitely gonna get another pair of those, because the only thing I don't like about the Onyx is it's the size of a normal boxing glove. On the Shadows, they're a thinner profile, so it's more close to a smaller, like a bare fist. So I like those ones a little bit better. And they have a very similar wrist wrap design where I'm getting the same benefit of a lace up, but without having to lace it up. Onyx did a good job on that also. But these things, the leather that they use on Onyx, these are awesome. So I don't mind spending money for quality stuff. And then shin guards, I like to use Fairtex. I've got a whole bunch of different types of shin guards, but as long as it's basically gonna cover my foot and my shin, I'm not that picky about those. I just wanna make sure that they're, again, smaller profile, offer good protection, so I'm not kicking somebody and hurting them through my shin guard, but also it's not clunky and getting in the way of me being able to do grappling attacks. So I think having this stuff as a fighter is a good overall base, and for me personally, this is my favorite items. The only one that I get really picky about is my mouth guard. I am a big believer in a custom mouth guard. I don't believe in getting the mid-grade ones, cheap ones if you have to, but I go with Ironjaw, and they make them in several different sizes, and these things are amazing. So I wear the thinnest one they make for most of my sparring, because it's like I'm wearing nothing. I love it, but it's got great protection. And then when I fight, I'll wear the different thicker ones so that I have a little bit more protection from getting hit with a bare fist in the teeth. But Ironjaw mouth guards, definitely my top pick. And out of everything, I think that's the most important piece of safety equipment, because I don't really like to wear headgear unless I'm doing headbutts, and the mouth guard is what's gonna protect my head more than anything else. So gloves and mouth guard, I'm big on. But let me know what you think I'm missing in here. I'm sure that there's probably something I'm overlooking. So if you got a piece of equipment you think I need to add to my arsenal, put it in the comments.